The Perfectionist. You know this person. They spent 45 minutes deciding which pen to use. They rewrite emails 17 times. They color coordinate their sock drawer by season and emotional temperature. At first, you think they're just really organized. Then you realize they're slowly dying inside because the world refuses to meet their impossibly high standards. Here's the secret. Perfectionists aren't trying to make you miserable. They're trying to prevent disaster that exists only in their heads. Every small mistake feels like the apocalypse to them. How to deal. Give them clear expectations and deadlines. Say, good enough is good enough, and mean it. They need permission to be human. Without it, they'll spend forever polishing something that was already fine 3 hours ago. The people pleaser. This person agrees with everything. They say yes when they mean no. They apologize for apologizing. They'll set themselves on fire to keep you warm and then apologize for smoke. You think they're just being really nice, but actually, they're terrified you'll stop liking them if they ever disagree with anything you say. It's exhausting for everyone. You never know what they actually think. They never get what they actually want. Everyone loses. How to deal. Ask them what they really think. Then wait. Through the awkward silence, through the whatever you want responses, keep asking until they give you an actual opinion. They need practice having preferences. The drama magnet, aka the walking soap opera. Everything is a crisis with this person. Their coffee was too hot. Traffic was personally attacking them. The grocery store was clearly conspiring against their happiness. They don't just have problems, they have situations, with capital letters and emotional soundtracks. You start dreading their text because you know it's going to be another episode of Why the Universe Hates Me. How to deal. Don't try to fix everything. Don't offer solutions. Just listen, nod, and resist the urge to point out that maybe, just maybe, not everything is actually an emergency. They need to feel heard, not solved. The control freak, aka the micromanaging overlord. This person has opinions about how you load the dishwasher, how you drive, how you breathe. They think there's a right way to do everything, and spoiler alert, it's their way. They're not trying to be annoying, they're trying to prevent chaos. In their mind, if they don't control everything, the world will literally fall apart. It's like living with someone who thinks they're the only thing standing between civilization and complete anarchy. How to deal. Pick your battles. Let them control the small stuff that doesn't matter to you. But draw hard lines on the big stuff. They need to learn that their anxiety about chaos isn't your responsibility to manage. The procrastinator. This person does everything at the absolute last possible second. They thrive on deadline panic. They think do tomorrow means do tomorrow. You're stressed just watching them live their life. But somehow, they always pull it off. Usually while you're having a stress-induced breakdown on their behalf. They're not lazy. They're just wired to need pressure to function. Without a deadline breathing down their neck, their brain goes into hibernation mode. How to deal. Give them fake earlier deadlines. Build in buffer time. Accept that they will never, ever start early, no matter how much you beg. Work with their chaos, not against it. The Overthinker. This person analyzes everything to death. They read 17 hidden meanings into sounds good. They replay conversations from 2019 looking for clues about what people really meant. Their brain never stops. Ever. It's like having a computer that runs 47 programs at once and never updates. They're not trying to drive you crazy with their endless questions. They're trying to figure out all possible scenarios so they can be prepared for everything. Spoiler, it doesn't work. How to deal. Be direct. Say what you mean. Don't leave room for interpretation. When they spiral, help them focus on facts instead of feelings. Their brain needs data, not more things to worry about. The Pessimist. This person sees problems everywhere. If it's sunny, they worry about skin cancer. If it's cloudy, they predict eternal darkness. They've mentally prepared for every possible disaster. You suggest a fun weekend trip. They immediately start listing 17 ways you could die or go bankrupt. They're not trying to ruin your good mood. They're trying to protect everyone from disappointment by expecting nothing good to ever happen. How to deal. Don't try to convince them to be positive. Instead, acknowledge their concerns and move forward anyways. They need you to know that you heard their warnings, even if you're choosing to ignore them. The Optimist. This person thinks everything will work out perfectly. Always. They see the bright side of literally everything, including food poisoning and flat tires. At first, it's refreshing. Then it becomes mildly concerning. Like, do they live in the same reality as the rest of us? They're not delusional. They just genuinely believe that positive thinking can overcome any obstacle, even physics. How to deal. Don't crush their spirit, but help them plan for reality. They need someone to handle the practical details while they handle the motivation. Let them dream, but pack the first aid kit yourself. The Introvert. This person needs alone time like other people need air. They can be social and charming, but it does cost them energy. Every conversation is a withdrawal from their social battery. They're not antisocial, they're not rude, they just need to recharge in silence before they can handle more human interaction. Large groups feel like sensory overload. Small talk feels like torture. They'd rather have one deep conversation than 17 shallow ones. How to deal. Give them space. Don't take it personally when they need to disappear for a while. Plan low-key activities. Understand that they show love by spending their limited social energy on you. The Extrovert. This person gets energy from being around people. The more, the better. Silence makes them uncomfortable. They think out loud. They overshare. They assume everyone wants to hear their thoughts. They're not trying to overwhelm you. They just process life externally. Their brain works best when it has an audience. Alone time feels like punishment to them. They'd rather have bad company than no company. How to deal. Give them your attention when they need it, but set boundaries when you need quiet. They respond well to direct communication about your needs. Just explain it like you would to a very enthusiastic puppy. The beautiful truth. Here's what's funny about personality types. Everyone thinks their way of being human is the normal way. Everyone else is just doing it wrong. The perfectionist can't understand how anyone gets anything done being so sloppy. The procrastinator can't understand why anyone would start early and waste all that good panic energy. But here's the secret. Every personality trait exists for a reason. Perfectionists catch mistakes. Pessimists spot problems. Optimists keeps everyone motivated. Drama magnets make life interesting. The goal isn't to change people. It's to understand their operating system well enough so that you can work with it instead of against it. The personality-friendly call to action. If this helped you decode some of the humans in your life, do what your personality type would do. Perfectionists. Like this video only if it meets your impossibly high standards. People pleasers. Subscribe because you don't want to hurt my feelings. Drama magnets. Share because it's life-changing. Everyone else, just hit the buttons because understanding people makes life way less confusing. Same goal, different approaches, way better relationships.